if you've never worked in a hospital, you don't think about this, but the hospitals are such strange places because everything, life and death is happening in them, and on the street the newsagent's just operating like normal. You know, yes. Everyone's walking past. So, and I remember having that same sensation in the dissecting room. Like, it's very hard to describe the intensity of what's going on when there's just work to be done as well.
I suppose it's a knowledge swap from yourself and your students and being immersed in this place that I get this kind of knowledge and some concrete skills that are technological, and hopefully my trade-off is I can give you some of the analogue kind of traditional craft making skills that maybe will help your students.
The traditional residency involves an artist arriving and doing their thing, and being kind of the sand in the pearl and things happening because they're there. And there's another kind of situation where you are a teacher, so you run workshops and you bring in someone who's very good at doing that. And this is a kind of hybrid, because on the one hand I was inviting students to learn some skills, but also trying to be alert to other kinds of conversations that might, and collaborations that might arise from that.
I sit in the dissecting room and I have the desk by the sinks, and I have a table full of yarns, and I invite students or staff or anyone actually within the college to bring me things with holes in to mend.
You're unlocking people's reflections on their own abilities, and I guess questioning what's going on, what is actually happening, not what is physically going on, what the description of the activity is, which is you are cutting and picking and looking up at cadavers. You're actually saying, well, what are you actually doing within this space?
When you put people into a room who are totally from different, totally different backgrounds, totally different areas, creative things come out, and that obviously seeds artistic work. I've seen this very much, but it also seeds scientific work, because people ask questions that they don't usually get asked.
Usually we teach our students on the board. They read books. They are very good at solving equations and problems, but we never let them really free to explore the creativity. And one of the things I'm very interested in is how can we teach creativity.
The two worlds are very different, but actually there's also a surprising amount of overlap in the way that we approach things. Our kind of level inquiry, we might vocalise it in a different way, but it's quite interesting seeing kind of how they're analysing problems, your students, in the same sort of way that I would, but just from a kind of scientific point of view, or using a more scientific vocabulary. But in effect, you can see their brains thinking in kind of the same way, really.
Often science cannot be predicted. We are trying new things, new experiments, and we need to be led by our intuition. And I think there is an intellectual intuition, but there's also, I don't know how to express it, but maybe a making intuition, that while you have something in your hand, you're making it, you have a different type of intuition, which is an experimental intuition. And I think that different part of the brain that we can stimulate with a collaboration like this.
I think with anything that's practical that you're trying to institute and it's new, you need to establish a kind of presence and trust with people, and then they start to come and then they start to participate, and that's the best way to recruit students to work with you, is just to be there and let them come, and they will.